Okay, wake up. It is Monday, February 2nd, 2026. And if you thought we were going to, you know, ease gently into the new Formula One season,
Hey, not a chance.
you were dead wrong. The lights haven't even gone out in Melbourne. The cars have barely turned a wheel in anger against each other.
And we already have a war. I mean, a full-blown war in the paddock.
It is absolutely electric.
Usually we have to wait for, like, the first corner of the first race for this kind of hostility. You know, carbon fiber flying everywhere. But nope, the gloves are off before we've even packed for Australia.
And today is the day. The Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 team just unveiled the W17. We've all been waiting for this moment, right? New regs, new era. But I gotta say, the shiny black chassis is not the real story here.
No, not even close. The real story is TOTO Wolff completely, utterly losing his cool.
I have seen Toto angry before. We all have.
Oh yeah, the headset smash. That's an iconic image.
Exactly. But this felt different. This wasn't just frustration. This was pure aggression. This was a shark who feels like he has no opposition.
He didn't just defend his team. He went on the attack.
He exploded. The message to the rest of the grid was loud, clear, and honestly a little insulting. He told them to, and I quote, "Get your shit together."
Wow. And that just sets a massive tone for the season. It tells us Mercedes isn't just here to participate. They think they've already won the engineering war. They're basically saying, we found it, you missed it, now catch us if you can.
Okay, so here is the roadmap for this deep dive, because we have a lot to cover. We are going to break down the new W17 itself.
Because there is a car, and it does look mean.
For sure. Then we have to talk about the, quote, shameless plagiarism that James Allison actually admitted to, and then we get into the mud, the massive engine loophole.
The crisis meetings happening as we speak.
And why Ferrari, Audi, and Honda are screaming for the FIA to intervene right now.
And that engine controversy, I mean, that's the kind of technical drama that decides championships long before the final race.
Buckle up, this is DRS Zone.
Just a quick note before we dive in. This segment is part of our news coverage of recent F1 events.
Okay, let's start with the car, the visual. We finally have eyes on the W17. You've seen the photos. What's the vibe you're getting from this thing?
The first thing that hits you is the scale.
Yeah.
It's just smaller. You know, the 2026 regs were all about getting away from the boats we've had.
Right, the land yachts.
Exactly. And Mercedes has leaned right into that. It looks compact, agile. It's like a fighter jet compared to the buses of 2025.
And the livery, sticking with the black.
Yep, they stuck with the black.
Which we all know by now is not just for looks. That is naked carbon fiber.
Every single gram counts. Paint is lap time.
But honestly, what jumped out at me more than the car were the race suits.
Oh, the Microsoft sponsorship.
It is so prominent, it feels like a statement.
Big tech, big data, backing what is essentially a supercomputer on wheels.
It is. It tells you where the performance is coming from. It's software. It's simulation. And the whole mood of the launch, it was just so blunt.
You're talking about Toto's assessment of the car.
Yeah, no PR fluff. He just said, and I quote, "It is not a turd." Not a turd? I mean, high praise indeed. But let's unpack that. After the W13 and W14, those unpredictable monsters, what does that actually mean?
In engineering speak, not a turd is a huge compliment. It means the correlation works. It means what they see in the wind tunnel is what they're getting on the track.
So it's predictable. It does what the laptop says it should do.
Precisely. And they have proof. They ran that shakedown in Barcelona.
500 laps, right?
500 laps with minimal red flags. For a brand new regulation set, that is terrifying reliability.
That's the part that stands out. Day one of a new era, you expect breakdowns, systems failing. 500 laps says their homework was pretty much perfect.
It says they're not spending time fixing things. They're spending time finding speed. And then you listen to the drivers, George and the rookie Kimi Antonelli.
Yeah.
They're not talking about balance. They're talking about power.
Antonelli said it wasn't scary, which is a funny thing for an F1 driver to say.
Right. But he admitted the acceleration is just. It's fast. And we need to explain what's different with these power units.
Go for it.
So the combustion engine is less powerful, but the electrical power has almost tripled. We are talking about a 350 kilowatt boost.
And 350 kilowatts is what, in old money?
It's nearly 500 horsepower.
Wow.
Just from the battery. Russell said when that kicks in, you were just flying. It's not a smooth power curve anymore. It's an explosion of torque. It's instantaneous.
That's going to be a real challenge to manage that.
A huge challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about the Aero, because this is where it gets a bit video gamey, as James Allison put it.
Right, the active Aero. We know the rear wing opens on every straight now, DRS style. But Mercedes has a trick at the front, too.
This is fascinating physics. So you open the rear wing to dump drag. Simple. But the problem is, if you only lose downforce at the back, the car becomes incredibly unstable.
Why? Explain that a bit.
Okay, think of the car's center of pressure. It's the balance point. If you remove the force pushing the back down, that point shoots forward. Suddenly the front has all the grip and the back has none. The car gets super twitchy.
And wants to spin?
At 200 miles per hour, yes. So the W17 is a trick. When that rear wing opens, a flap on the front wing also moves or disappears at the exact same time.
Ah, so they're balancing the scales instantly.
They're shedding downforce from both ends simultaneously. It keeps the center of pressure stable. Allison said it's like pushing a button in a video game to go into a low drag mode.
Incredible. But he also dropped that bombshell about where some of their other ideas came from. He used the words shameless plagiarism.
I loved how honest that was. He basically just said, yeah, we look at everyone else. He hinted it was the Aston Martin rear suspension.
And that's normal, to just admit that.
I think it's a power move. He's saying, we're smart enough to invent, but we're also smart enough to steal your better idea. It's a warning shot. Nice suspension. It's ours now. And we'll probably make it work better than you did.
Okay, let's pivot. To the elephant in the room, the real reason Toto is so fired up, the engine.
The compression ratio loophole.
This is the hottest topic in F1. Let's break this down. What is the actual controversy here?
Okay, so the 2026 regulations say the engine has to have a compression ratio of 16:1.
And compression ratio is just how much you squeeze the fuel and air before you light it on fire.
Right. The more you squeeze, the bigger the bang, the more power you get. Simple.
So 16.1 seems straightforward.
It seems it. But here's the catch. The rule says this must be measured at ambient temperature.
Meaning when the engine's cold, sitting in the garage.
Correct. And what sources are saying is that Mercedes, and probably Red Bull 4 too, have an engine that passes this test perfectly. When it's cold, it's exactly 16.1. But
metal expands when it gets hot. Basic physics.
Exactly. And they've apparently engineered the metals and the geometry to expand in a very, very specific way. So when the engine is screaming hot on track, that ratio changes. It goes up to something like 18.1.
And is that a big deal, going from 16 to 18?
It is massive. It's a huge jump in thermal efficiency. We're talking free horsepower, better fuel economy. It's a gigantic advantage. And that's what Honda, Audi, and Ferrari are saying is against the spirit of the rules.
Ugh, the spirit of the rules. But is it against the letter of the rules?
And that is the unmeasurable ghost. The rules say the car has to be legal at all times. But the FIA only has a test for when the engine is cold and stripped down.
Because you can't exactly stick a probe inside a combustion chamber at 15,000 RPM.
You literally can't. It's 1,000 degrees in there.
Yeah.
So Mercedes has built an engine that's legal when you check it and potentially illegal when you actually drive it. But you can't check it when they drive it.
That is diabolically clever.
And that's why the other teams are screaming bloody murder. They know it's happening, but they can't prove it with a test that doesn't exist.
Which brings us back to Toto. He didn't just dodge the question today, he went nuclear.
He used the launch, a PR event, to fire back at all the whispering.
He told the other teams, get your shit together.
It's such a power play. His whole defense is, look at the text. It says measured at ambient temperature.
Yeah.
We do that. The FIA checked it. They told us we're good.
He's painting them as paranoid for holding, what did he say, secret meetings and sending secret letters?
It's that shark mentality. He knows they have to invent a whole new way to test this, and he's betting they can't do it in time. He's saying, we outsmarted you. Deal with it.
But they are not dealing with it. There are crisis meetings happening right now.
Oh, yeah. A technical meeting today, Monday, and then another one on Thursday with the Power Unit Advisory Committee.
So why don't they just change the test? Just test it hot.
It's not that simple. I mean, think about it. To measure this with the kind of precision you need, you have to take the engine apart.
And the second you do that to a hot engine, it starts to cool down.
And the metal contracts.
Yeah.
You lose the measurement. Your proof is gone.
Okay, so what if you, I don't know, put it in an oven to keep it hot while you measure?
You risk destroying the engine.
Yeah.
A multi-million-dollar power unit. Who pays for that?
Yeah.
Is the FIA going to risk breaking a Mercedes engine just to check it? It's a total liability nightmare.
So that's the standoff. If the FIA changes the rules now, what happens?
Well, it's not just the Mercedes factory team that's in trouble if this gets banned.
Right. It's McLaren, it's Williams, maybe Alpine.
And very possibly Red Bull, too, if they followed the same concept with Ford.
You could be banning half the grid right before the first race.
The FIA cannot have a 10-car grid in Melbourne. It would be a catastrophe.
So Toto holds all the cards. He knows they can't ban him without blowing up the start of the season?
Which is exactly why he can stand there, look into the camera, and tell Ferrari to get its act together. He's checkmated them with bureaucracy and physics.
This is pure chaos, and honestly, I am here for it. The W17 looks fast, but this engine war is what will define the next few years.
It reminds me of the double diffuser, or the DAS system. It's one of those gray areas where championships are won in the design office, not on the track.
So what does this all mean? What should we expect to see happen next?
Expect protests. If Mercedes comes out and dominates in Melbourne, expect Ferrari or Audi to lodge a formal protest the second the race is over. This is going to the courts.
The real racing will be done by lawyers on a Monday morning.
Absolutely. Not a turd might be the quote of the day, but legal nightmare might be the theme of the season.
The sheer audacity of it all. Shameless plagiarists for the suspension and rule-bending geniuses for the engine.
That's Formula One. If you aren't pushing the boundaries of the rules, you aren't really trying.
We have to wrap this up, but I want to leave everyone with one last thought on all this.
Here's the provocative thought for you to chew on. If the rulebook says one thing, ambient temperature, but the laws of physics let you do another when no one can possibly be looking, is it cheating?
Or is it just Formula One?
And ask yourself this. If the FIA does panic and changes the rules now, do we lose half the grid before the season even starts? Is the integrity of the rulebook worth ruining the show?
That is the multi-million-dollar question. Do not miss a single beat of this war. Follow DRS Zone right now on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube, because the second we hear anything out of that Thursday meeting, we will have the update.
It's going to be a long week for the lawyers.
Keep your engines hot and your lawyers ready. See you in the next deep dive.